Hello. So for my active learning engagement reflection, I really wanted to do a video because I am a visual learner and it's going to stick with me more this way. So I also created a presentation to go along with it to help serve as a reminder. So to break it down really quick, I did create a table of contents of what I'm going through. So first we're going to talk about online learning discussions and my history with them specifically. Then we'll go over brainstorming challenges and then kind of how to change it up, do it different, and then how this plays a role in the college environment as well as I have a resource page. So I guess to start off with this presentation, I wanted to highlight my experience with online learning discussions because I have a wide variety of online learning discussion engagement in my own schoolwork. So I was in undergrad right before COVID started, and um, I had some really positive online discussions as well as some negative ones before COVID. So a lot of my classes went with the cut and dry discussion posts on like D2L, and to me, those felt more like a chore, and you're not really engaging actively with your classmates. Additionally, I had another class where we did virtual Zoom meetings where we would discuss content areas. Specifically, this was for a Spanish course, so we discussed. We had to do our discussions in Spanish, so that was a really cool way to do online learning discussions, not face to face in person before COVID started. However, once COVID started, I felt like those positive online discussions, like the virtual Zoom meetings, we kind of went further away from, and a lot of instructors relied on just standard discussion forums such as like D2L posts. And I think the big reason for that is just because it was there, it was easy to use, and it didn't take much. It didn't have a huge learning curve. However, there were some classes that had virtual Zoom meetings in the class where we would do like different discussions based on questions if it was a synchronous course. However, though, I felt they kind of were just chores at that point, and they weren't structured well enough to produce active engagement amongst the students. And now here we are post pandemic. Some classes still rely on D2L posts. I'm seeing that less and less often, with at least when I was an undergraduate. And we have a lot more flip discussions. That's been a big component of online learning discussions, as well as Padlet, which helps you set different standards for originality, as well as including resources, which is really great. And some teachers are able to use those softwares very well. So for this activity, I focused based specifically on the brainstorming challenge, just because that is something that I felt was lacking in my undergraduate asynchronous course that I was currently teaching. And I really think that this is a very valuable online learning discussion tool because it helps produce active engagement, and it's a fun way for these discussions to occur. Um, I've had experience with it when I was face to face in classes as well as when in my graduate classes, but I did not include them in my undergraduate course because they just kind of forgot about them, even though I've done them several times. So I tried incorporating them in my current course, and a lot of the students loved it. And there's different ways we facilitated it. So for one of the activity, I we did two activities, me and my co-instructor, that was related to the brainstorming challenge. So one of them, it was asynchronous, where groups had a Google Doc for them to brainstorm together, and then they each created their own flip post as if they were creating their own presentation. And then another way is that we had them meet over Zoom and record their discussion, their brainstorming challenge discussion that way. And some ways that I can change it up in the future is I kind of thought it'd be cool to kind of do a build up of the discussion tools that are from the LSU's document. So, building up based on the goals. So we'll start with a think, pair, share, which allows us the students to engage in content learning. Then they'll jump to a muddiest point maybe next the following week, which allows them to us to kind of monitor and assess their understanding. And then we will do the aha wall to allow them to reflect, and then do the brainstorming challenge. So there's the active engagement. So they've been building up their skills and getting ready for that challenge. And then finally, in the college environment, I think in today's age, online learning discussions are kind of have like a bad rap to them, and the positive online learning discussions are very much overshadowed by the bad ones. However, or instructors need to be aware of different resources such as the LSU document, so college environments are able to adapt and use proper resources and have those proper online learning discussions, because I think we should all know by now that online learning is not going away. It wasn't a temporary solution, but more of a different route for people to learn, and is becoming more and more prominent. And then here are my resources from this presentation. So the first one is the presentation itself. This is from Canva, so that is the source of that. And then the second one is the resource for the LSU document. So that is my little reflection on active learning engagement. Thank you.